Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's time for me to go work out, but real quick, wanted to share the two best times to work out. People are constantly wondering when is the best time to work out, where I'm gonna get maximum results. So I'm going to share with you the two very best times to work out. The first is when you feel great, when you feel like you're ready to get after it, where you're feeling good about yourself, you are ready to crush your workout, you're feeling good, you're feeling positive. That's one of the best times to work out. The second best time to work out is when you don't feel like working out. And that's the time that separates the people that find success from those that don't. It's the ones that are going to do it whether they feel like it or not. Anybody can work out when life is perfect. It's when you don't feel like it that is going to make the difference. It's going to do so many things for you, but rather than get into the benefits of building your mental fortitude and resilience, I'm going to share just a few strategies that you can use to make sure that you do the number one thing that separates successful people from those who don't reach their potential, and that is it's being consistent. We all know that. There's no secret. It's being consistent. It's doing what you need to do to get closer to your goal every single day. There's no excuses. We're taking responsibility and we're taking action. We're doing something to move closer. So the first thing is something that I was reminded of yesterday. We have a corporate client, and I was there, and there was a bunch of people working out, and one guy was new, and he was talking about how he's been on and off for a long time, and he's never really stuck with anything. And the good news is his friends brought him to the session, and he was really optimistic, and I just know that he will do so much better now that he has some accountability. So we all need a little help, and if you don't have any accountability built in, you're probably not going to always do what you need to do when nobody's looking. We definitely need to have that integrity and the character to do that, but at the same time, we all need help. We need somebody that's giving us some accountability. So that's the first thing, is to get some accountability. The second thing is to realize that willpower is overrated, which is why you need accountability, but it's also why you have to set yourself up to have the least amount of resistance possible. Trust me, you're going to have enough resistance to doing the hard things, whether you set yourself up or not. So you want to avoid the things that are going to derail you. Just as a very basic example, it's with nutrition. It's having don't have the stuff in your house that you know is going to get you off track. Because you're human and you're gonna give in when you're tired, when you're not feeling as motivated. So just make it so that if you really want something and you want to treat yourself, then make it so you have to go out and get it, or make it so that you have to do an extra step. It has to be a little harder for you. When there's no resistance to it, it's going to be very difficult. I know this is true in a lot of office settings. There's constantly pastries and cookies and all this stuff, and it's hard to resist when it's there. You're walking by it. So do whatever you can to set yourself up for success. I know that I was invited somewhere recently, and they said that there's going to be some kind of snacks there. It sounds silly, but there's going to be some snacks there ahead of time. So get there early so that you can have the snacks. And so I purposely didn't go early because I knew that that would be a difficult situation. And that was just what worked for me. But you have to do what works for you. And finally, a lot of it being consistent, it comes down to what's between your ears. So thinking about your vision and the goals that you have for yourself, where do you want to be? So where do you want to be in terms of results, but also where do you want to be in terms of yourself as a person? So what kind of person do you want to be? So for example, you want to be the type of person that respects themselves, that likes themselves, that takes care of themselves, that is a good example for their kids or others in their lives. So you want to be that type of person. So that's like your ideal self. So that's your future ideal self. And if you're doing really well already, it's, what do you want? What else do you want? And what can you improve upon? And how can you be an example? And how can you help others? But what is that ideal self? And just really give that some thought. You should give it thought. You should put it in writing. But think to yourself, what would the ideal version of myself, that's that ideal that I'm working towards, what would they choose in this situation? Would they hit that snooze button, or would they get up and get after it because that's who they are? They're the type of person that doesn't make excuses, that takes responsibility, and that does what they need to do, whether they feel like it or not. So the two best times to work out are when you feel like it and when you don't. And being consistent being inconsistent is the biggest reason for failure. Being consistent is the biggest reason for success. So do the things that are going to help you be consistent. Have some accountability. Make sure that you're not relying too much on willpower, and you're making decisions based on either the ideal self that you have, or even if it's somebody else that you respect, and you're not trying to be like them as a person, but you're trying to be like them in terms of this particular area. There's nothing wrong with that. Hey, I have a mentor, and I know that he's achieved some great results by doing this particular thing. So yeah, I want to do what he would do. And we've all heard, what would Jesus do? It's a similar concept, right? What would the right thing be to do to be like the version of yourself that you want to be? Hope that helps. I would love to hear your feedback. If you have any other tips, and if you have any questions, I will mention that this only applies to a particular type of person, but we're doing a program. It's a brand new program. It's a 6-week program. It's called the Menopause Wellness Solution, and it's a 6-week program for women that are in any stage of that in their lives, and we're going to talk about all the different areas that are affected, how you can find success, health, and happiness during that time. Super excited. If you're interested, just shoot me a message, get in touch, or for anything else for that matter. Thanks so much. Have a great weekend, and I'll talk to you soon.